Welcome to the Recon Trader. In today's video, I will share with you some tactical analysis over on the Ethereum charts, as there is a possibility of Ethereum dumping this week in particular. So with that being said, let's get right into the charts. And actually, before we get too far into the weeds over here on the charts, let's take a look at the open interest for the options that are expiring at the end of the month, which is at the end of this week, Friday, September 29th. Today is Tuesday, and right now we can see the max paying price is $16.50. And for those of you who are not familiar with what the max paying price is, it basically represents the strike price where most of the options will expire worthless. And that would include both the puts and the calls, or the bearish or bullish options, and that strike price is coming in at $16.50. And when we jump over to the charts, you will see $16.50 is actually a strong level of resistance for the bulls. And right now it does not look good for the bulls to even get the strike price up here to say 1700 and try to lock in profit over on these options, let alone all the way back up here to 2000. Highly unlikely. However, the bears would have an easier battle to push this price down to say around 1500, and that could then lock in a little more profit for the bears. And so with that in mind, let's jump back over to the charts, and we will start on the daily candles for Ethereum USDT on the Binance exchange. Now each one of these candles or bars represents a day of price action for Ethereum, and right now that price action is bearish. There is a descending triangle pattern set up here, and these patterns are considered bearish typically because you get lower high, lower high, lower high. There is this outlier higher high, but for the most part we have lower highs, and thus the trend line on the top side is trending down. But then across the bottom we do have support down here around 1550, and that makes up your descending triangle pattern. Now, as I mentioned, the 1650 level, which is coming in around this area here, you can see was support, then flipped into resistance, would more than likely be resistance again. If the bulls try to push the price up, they'll also run into resistance from this trend line. However, if they are able to break through the trend line, we can drop in our target based on this pattern, and that would put ETH's price up here around 1820, which would correspond to where ETH had sold off from, so perhaps a new level of resistance up here. However, on the flip side, if the bears are able to actually break this price down by the end of the week, then they could be looking at a target down here around 1350. Now the real target, I think, for the bears is somewhere below 1500. And in order to actually ID some possible levels of support and resistance, we're going to drop in the Recon Auto Fib Retracement Indicator. And right now you can see the 786, or around 1637, is acting as resistance. It was previous support. And as I mentioned in a lot of my videos, previous support often flips into resistance once broken and then retested. And that's what we're seeing. That level is actually acting as resistance. Probably between 1630 and 1650 is going to be a valid level of resistance. Now on the flip side, we can see support coming in around that 1550 level back here, and back here the price of Ethereum has wicked into this 1530 level is what it's saying, but probably around 1550. Now, if the 1550 to 1530 level fails to hold and the bears are able to get the price down, the next level of support is way down here at the 1272, coming in at 1395. And again, that is actually just above the bottom of the target for the breakdown out of this descending triangle. So more than likely a valid level of a sell-off if the bears are able to apply that sell pressure. Again, the key level to be watching really is around 1500 And that is where I think the bears actually have their sights set, is to get the price down below 1500 before the end of the week, or the end of the month in this case as well. Now on the flip side, if the bulls are able to get the price up above the 786 level, 1637 to probably 1650, the next target they would have their sights set on would be the 618 Fibonacci retracement level coming in around 1721. After that, then they would be looking up here at around the 50% level, which is coming in at 1780. And more importantly, for the bulls to reclaim the battlefield, I think they need to get the price above the 382 level, which would be above 1838. I don't foresee that happening this week. There's a lot of resistance towards the top side, but this could be a realistic target going into October for the bulls. As again, if we look at the target for this descending triangle, a breakout towards the top side will put that target price almost exactly at that 382 level of 1838. So again, more than likely a very valid level. Not impossible, but more than likely not probable. And again, looking back, you can see that level was a level of support, flipped into resistance, back into support until the price actually broke down and sold off. So more than likely the 382 level or 1838 will become resistance once again for the bulls. But with that all being said, right now the price action for Ethereum is bearish, and in fact, if we drop in the EMA ribbon for Ethereum, we can see that the ribbon has flipped into the bearish mode ever since this sell-off. You now have your reds and yellows on top of your blues and greens, and in fact back here you can see Ethereum got rejected in the ribbon, and again has rejected in the ribbon down here as well. So in reality, until the bulls can push the price above this ribbon, and actually they need to flip the ribbon, and that would actually require the price to get above around 1680, so definitely above that 1650 mark. And until the price of Ethereum gets above probably 1700, the bears remain in control of the battlefield, and thus the warning that the possibility of Ethereum selling off is very real, especially this week with those options expiring at the end of the week and the end of the month essentially. So I think that's enough jaw-jacking for this video. If anything major happens over here on the charts, I will do an update video, so you might want to shoot that subscribe button. If you like this video, do me a favor, spike a like. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. And until next time, remember, never send your money into battle without first doing your recon. See you in the next video.